So we're going to talk about the two most powerful concepts for making and multiplying money. And this is so powerful. And I can pretty much guarantee that right now you are not doing this. Most people have no idea that these opportunities even exist. This has just been made possible through blockchain and cryptocurrency. And it doesn't matter whether the market's going down, going sideways, it does not matter. This is how the true insiders are creating an absolute fortune right now. I have friends that have literally become billionaires from this. And once you understand these two concepts, you're gonna have a huge advantage over everyone else in this space. And so pay close attention to this, take some notes. With that said, let's dive in. Now, before we dig into this, I think it's important to quick talk just a little bit about my background so you understand where I'm coming from here. So my name is Jamison Palmer. Many of you know me. I'm pretty well recognized in the world of online marketing, and it was over 20 years ago that I had a mentor teach me a skill set and a methodology that I became completely obsessed with, because I realized that if you could just master this, you would have the keys to the kingdom, meaning you could be successful with anything. And at that point, I decided to dedicate my life to mastering this craft. And I spent many countless hours studying the greats along with the most successful authors of all time. And then I began to bring what I was learning to the internet. This is around the time when the internet was really just getting started. And as I applied the right principles along with the right concepts, I began to experience success. And then after countless experiments and pretty much living behind my computer, eventually I completely cracked the code. I was selling websites, hosting, and merchant solutions, and we were absolutely crushing it. And this is when I caught the attention of some very successful, some very wealthy individuals. Long story short, I ended up in a partnership with General Steel Corporation, where we began to apply these same concepts in the steel building industry. In less than a year, we took over the entire online market, and together we ended up doing over $1 billion in sales. And so this was an extremely profitable venture early on, and this put me in a position where I no longer had to work. I also had a lot of capital to play with. And then out of my passion for the game, I went on to form Max Response as a performance marketing company, and we quickly became known for creating top-selling offers, some of the most recognized brands in the most competitive markets, such as weight loss, bodybuilding, the financial industry, and we had an amazing run. Our systems were responsible for generating many millions of dollars in profits. We ended up making more money than I ever dreamed would be possible. It was a huge blessing to have this experience. However, during this time, I started to get burned out. Running this operation was a tremendous amount of work. I decided there had to be a better way to use the skills that I had developed. I began experimenting with creating completely automated systems. This is around the same time that I got involved with Bitcoin. I quickly became a believer in blockchain technology. And then I decided to quit everything else I was doing and focus in on this. And as it turned out, this was the best decision of my life. For well over a decade now, I've been traveling the world, living in exotic places, living life on my own terms, living a life of complete freedom. And this was all while making some serious profits on complete autopilot. This is when I began to realize the real power of these automated systems. These systems continue to evolve and become more and more effective. During this time, we started experimenting with using blockchain and cryptocurrency, combining proven concepts with this new technology, and the results were mind-blowing. And this is when I knew that we were definitely onto something. I went on to form Tokenomics as an organization, and for some time now, we have been collaborating with some super savvy developers, and together we have been pioneering new technology, new concepts And we've been having some major breakthroughs, one of which is the first platform of its kind ever created. Introducing Crytoati, which means the crypto elite, the crypto insiders. And this new platform is going to completely change the way you think about profiting from blockchain and cryptocurrency. Now, before we show you how this new platform works and how it's going to give you a huge advantage over pretty much everyone else in this space, first, we're going to talk about the two most profitable things that you can possibly do to multiply money, because that's really what this community is all about. How together we can capitalize on these two powerful concepts. And I have friends that have literally become billionaires from this. These two concepts have the power to take someone from pretty much nothing to life-changing profits faster than anything else that I know of. And as you watch this, not only will you see proof that everything I'm saying is true, by the end of this, you will know exactly what to do next to begin to participate. So put away any distractions, close out Facebook, hide your cell phone, and pay very close attention to what you're about to see. This may be one of the most important videos that you ever come across. Now, before we dig into this, I do want to make sure that we give a proper earnings disclaimer here. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. I'm not an attorney. This isn't legal advice. In fact, I'm not giving you any kind of advice whatsoever. There are no promises. There are no guarantees. I'm simply giving you my thoughts, my perspective coming from my own personal experience. This for informational purposes only. And anything that you decide to do with this information is your responsibility. It is completely up to you. So with that said, the first thing to understand is there is more money being made right now today in blockchain and cryptocurrency than ever before. And we're not going to talk about trading, DeFi, crypto gaming, NFTs, or any of that. What we're going to talk about here is far more powerful. It has far more potential. And I can pretty much guarantee that right now you are not doing this. By understanding these concepts, you're going to be so far ahead of the game, most people are missing out because they have no idea that these opportunities even exist. And so again, we're going to start off by talking about the two most powerful ways of making and multiplying money. And so the first one is completely passive. And this one took our friend Carl Runefelt from working as a cashier at a grocery store to becoming a billionaire in just a few short years. And we'll go ahead and let him explain how he did it in his own words.
I invest money in tokens before they are live. So
these are like pre-ICOs, are they effectively?
Yeah, you can say something like this, pre-sales, yeah, exactly. And I've done, like I said, 370 of these, and I invest usually between like $50,000 up to $200,000 into each. But the interesting thing about these is that the return is so crazy. I've had projects go 300x, even 600x. But on average, I would probably say like maybe 10, 20, 30x my money. Most of these tokens that I invest in, I make a few million on them.
And so again, Carl went from working as a cashier at a grocery store to becoming a billionaire, and it only took him a few years to get there. And what's even more impressive, he was able to do this getting started with no special skills, which is pretty insane, right? However, what he did have is, first of all, the right concept. And of course, he was motivated. He took action. He made things happen. And this took him from making a couple $1,000s a month to becoming a billionaire in a very short time. This is the kind of potential that we are talking about here. That's how powerful this is. There are very few things that can multiply money like this. So as you heard Carl say, this is about purchasing tokens for crypto startup projects, which in other words is about getting into the right projects early before everyone else. And so how do we do this? Well, I can tell you that it is not how most people think. So many people believe that they're getting in early by getting into projects through launchpad sites such as BSCpad. This is what we call IDOs, or initial DEX offerings. And while it is true that launchpads can help you to find projects before most people, this is not how the true insiders are getting into projects. You see, the problem with launchpads is not only is the allocation of tokens very small, meaning you're only able to buy a small number of tokens for each project. The other problem is by the time you see these projects on the launch pads, you are already very late to the party. And this is because most good projects have multiple rounds of token sales before the IDO, before they go to the launch pads. And the people that are getting into these early pre-sale rounds are getting a much better price on the token, and they're also getting a much larger allocation of tokens. This is where you're able to buy tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of these tokens, which of course means they also have much more potential to profit from these projects, which can end up being millions of dollars in profits from a single project. And so to really understand this, let's say that this is the IDO, which again is where the project launches on the launch pad. Well, usually there are multiple rounds of pre-sale before the IDO, which the earlier the round you get into, the cheaper the price of the token. And so when a project launches on the launch pad, those that got into the pre-sale rounds are already well into profit. And so this is where you want to be getting in the pre-sale rounds of the token sale. This is how the insiders are generating insane profits by getting into the early rounds of the token sales for the right projects. The only challenge with this is for great projects, the early rounds of token sales are usually invite only. You usually have to be connected to the right people, the right developers, part of the right circle, the right community. And so understand what I'm telling you here. You're not gonna find these opportunities on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or any of the launchpad sites. By the time you see these projects on social media, you have already completely missed the party. The true insiders were already in long before this, and they are already at a substantial profit. And so this is how the game is played. This is how friends of mine have already become billionaires. This is how people have gone from pretty much nothing to life-changing profits in a very short time. Like I said, there are very few things you can get involved with that have the power and potential of this. Now, the good news is, as a member of Crytoati, this whole new world of opportunity is about to open up to you. I've been involved in this game since the early days myself. My friends and I are connected to a lot of the right people, the right developers, and we're seeing a lot of the hottest new projects first, well in advance before everyone else. And as this community continues to grow and expand, we're gonna have even more of these projects coming to us. And that's because projects are looking for a community like this that they can make a deal with, and this is gonna give all of us a tremendous advantage in this space. It makes sense, right? And so again, this is without question one of the most powerful money multiplying concepts of our time, which you'll finally be able to tap into as a member of this community. And so needless to say, this is super exciting, and this leads us to the next concept for making and multiplying money. And to me, this one is even more exciting, and this is going to be especially powerful for people that don't have a lot of capital to work with and are looking to build up their capital in the fastest way possible. And this is by getting more active and participating as a community builder. And this happens to be one of our specialties, one of the things that we're known for, something my friends and I are very good at. And so first of all, understand the success of any project, whether it's DeFi, gaming, doesn't matter what it is, the success of the project depends on the strength of the community. And so the more people that get involved with a project, the more successful it becomes. And the more people that join the community, the more valuable the project becomes. And this is why the social media giants such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok are worth so many billions of dollars. It's all about the users, the people. That's how this value is measured. The more people you have, the more value you have. It makes sense, right? And there is serious money to be made if you can bring the people, bring users, bring community to these new projects. And my friends and I are considered to be some of the best in the world at doing this. And so before we show you how Crytoati completely changes the game when it comes to community building and can help you to become a high level, a serious community builder, let me quick share this story so you can understand the potential of this. So this is a good friend of mine, Rodney Burton, also known as Bitcoin Rodney. And so Rodney has been one of my business partners over the years. And as Rodney will tell you, I'm the one that introduced him to cryptocurrency over a decade ago. And sometime back, I began sharing with him the exact same concept that I'm sharing with you now. And it's this concept that has allowed him to quickly become one of the highest paid influencers in the world. You can scroll through his Facebook page and see his collection of supercars. Nowadays, he's flying around on private jets. And it's this community building concept that has been responsible for most of his success. Now understand, Rodney's an amazing guy. He has a lot of charisma. He's one of the most likable guys that you could ever meet. However, before getting involved with this, he had a relatively small following and would have been considered a micro influencer at best. However, he got serious about community building. He went out there and he hustled. He made things happen. And with the way things are going now, I wouldn't be surprised if he hits billionaire status in the very near future. And so his lifestyle has changed dramatically. Here's a brand new Lamborghini and a brand new Rolls Royce parked 30 floors up inside his condo in one of the most exclusive buildings in Miami. And so you can scroll through his page and check this out for yourself. The point is, it wasn't long ago that I was telling Rodney the exact same thing that I'm telling you, that there are very few things that have the power and potential of this. So to help you to understand how we do this, how this concept and methodology works, the first thing that we look for is the right blockchain, the right cryptocurrency project. Because without the right project, you don't have anything. This is never gonna work. And these projects are not easy to find. There are so many worthless projects that are going nowhere. After many years of experience, we know exactly what to look for. We have a very strict criteria. It's way too much to go into here. However, two things that are absolutely critical. First, it must be a project that most people will be excited about. So it can't be another Me Too project. It's got to be very unique and special. We're looking for game changers, major breakthroughs, projects that really stand out in this space. Again, we're looking for a project when most people understand it, they get excited and they want to participate. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have the right project. Now, the second thing that we're looking for is a reward model that allows us to create leverage as community builders. And this is very important because if we're going to bring the most valuable asset to the project, which is the people, the community, then we want to be sure that we are being compensated in a fair way for doing this. It makes sense, right? Now, to understand what we're looking for in a reward model, let's take a look at this illustration of what viral growth looks like. because our goal as community builders is to harness the power of viral growth, because this is without a doubt the fastest way to build community. And over the years, we have completely mastered this. Now, it's our automated systems, our platforms that make this viral growth possible. And this is also how we're able to create leverage. And by sharing the project with a small number of people, we're able to reach thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people. And we're looking for a compensation model, a rewards model that allows us to be compensated for all of this. Because that's what's fair, because all of this growth is a result of our efforts, right? And if you understand about Web 3.0 and decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, we're gonna be seeing a lot more of these reward models in the very near future. I can tell you, this is where things are headed. In fact, through tokenomics, we're currently working with a number of projects helping to pioneer these new models. And of course, this is very exciting. And right now, we are at the very beginning of this. Now, to help you to understand how we capture these opportunities and build massive communities by making these projects go viral, this is the latest version of our platform. And for those of you that understand funnels and how effective they can be, what we have now is far more powerful. This takes everything to a completely new level. We are the first to combine funnel concepts with social and Web3 concepts. We are also the first to bring all the tools and resources that you could ever possibly need into one single platform, which is a dream come true for a serious community builder. This is the ultimate system of duplication designed to harness the power of viral growth. There's nothing else out there even close to what we have in place. This completely changes the game when it comes to establishing networks and building communities. And setting this up couldn't be any easier. It's as simple as pasting in your referral link and clicking the save button. Anyone can do this. And so not only can you have the entire platform set up in minutes without any technical skills whatsoever, this platform has everything you could possibly need to build a massive network for yourself. And the real beauty is everything is completely automated. And so everything is done for you. Everything happens automatically. And all you have to do is simply invite people to this insider community. And of course, as a member, we're going to show you the easiest and most effective ways of doing this. And this is how we harness the power of viral growth. Makes sense, right? Now, this platform that you're on now is by far the most powerful platform that we have ever created. And there's so much this platform can do. Like I said, it completely changes the game when it comes to community building. However, it's way too much to go into here, so we'll give you an overview of this platform in a separate video. For now, I'm gonna leave you with another success story to really drive home the power of what we're talking about here. And so this is my beautiful wife, Natalia, and our son, Thomas. And when we first met, she was a single mom, living in a tiny apartment, working full-time while going to school full-time to get a master's in psychology. And after about 8 months into our relationship, she told me if I would teach her what I do in crypto and could help her to become successful, that she would become my sugar mommy. And now fast forward about 2.5 years later, her life is now dramatically different. She just bought this multi-million-dollar property in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in Colombia, paid for in full using crypto. She also bought me a brand new 911, a brand new Macan for herself, again paid for in full using cryptocurrency. And so she went from a beginner with no special skills to living like a celebrity after a very short time of doing this. And what's even more impressive is she was able to do this while we were spending a lot of our time traveling spending time hanging out at some of the most beautiful destinations in the world. How exciting is that, right? Like I said, these are the two most powerful concepts for making and multiplying money, and we've proven this over and over again. And my friends and I have completely mastered this. And we have the skills, the resources, the experience. We have everything that we need to capitalize on this. And we have the first ever Web 3.0 community/system of duplication ever created. There's nothing else out there that even comes close to what we have in place. And this completely changes the game when it comes to community building. And there's so much this platform can do. We're going to be talking a lot more about this. If you'd like to get on the fast track, check below this video for an invite. Come join the community. Come join the conversation. And we're going to show you everything you need to know. How to harness the power of viral growth, how to build your own personal network, which is by far one of the most profitable things that you can possibly do in blockchain and cryptocurrency. And so again, check below this video for an invite. Come join the community, come join the conversation, and then definitely stay tuned. We've got a lot to talk about. Until next time, many blessings. Jameson Palmer signing off.